great Odin's raven.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
This is ridiculous. Okay, I'll go.
Hello, welcome to the FilmPulse.net podcast, episode number 45. My name's Adam. Today I'm joined by Kevin. How are you, Kevin?
Doing all right.
I'm doing pretty good as well. Today we're going to be talking about the Golden Globes. We're not going to be doing a review for The Hobbit because neither of us had any interest in seeing it. However, if you do want to read our review, Daniel wrote a review for it and it's up on the site, so you can check that out. So this week, we're just going to be talking about the Golden Globes, what we think, our opinions, all that.
I'm not into hobbits and Middle Earth.
I'm not a fan of the Shire.
Wizards, Mordor.
I do like fantasy. I don't know, but for some reason that Tolkien fantasy could never latch on. As big of a nerd as I am, you'd think I'd love it, but anyway. Game of Thrones starting up soon, so
I'm into that.
Yeah. We'll also be making our weekly movie predictions, doing some Amazon Blu Ray deals, and we'll be going over this week's DVD and Blu Ray releases. First, let's kick things off with some of what we've been watching. I'll start it off this week. A couple of these you saw, so I'll hold off until we get to you. But I did see The Color Wheel, which is part of the Independent Spirit Awards nominees. I'll be going over a lot of those with the coming weeks. I'm trying to knock all those out. There's 49 films in total. So far, I think I've seen 18. So I'm trying to get them all done so that I can vote properly.
Indeed.
So we'll talk about The Color Wheel because you saw it too, right?
Yes.
All right. And then I also saw Perks of Being a Wallflower. We talked about this before. Neither of us were really too keen on this movie. I did end up liking it. It wasn't great, but it was better than I thought it would be. I actually thought it was okay. I don't see what the big deal is about it, because there's a million movies like this.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just so many. Like Squid and the Whale comes to mind. There's so many of these movies where it's about a group of angsty teens that are wise beyond their years, and they're always, they're more articulate and well-spoken than their peers, and they listen to, music that's like edgy, like the Smiths. Oh, I listen to the Smiths.
Yay.
And it's
it sounds like a terrible time.
It's a pretty typical movie, but at the same time, it does have a lot of heart. It did make me feel very nostalgic for some reason. It reminded me of my days in high school, and the main character is really awkward and weird in social situations, as I know both of us are. Mm-hmm. And it takes place in the 90s, so you have that whole thing happening. But it was okay. I would say it's a light recommend. But I
do not look forward to seeing this.
I'll be curious to see what you think of it, because I bet you won't hate it as much as you think you will.
I have a feeling I'm going to hate it as much as I think I will.
It's not that bad. You should be able to get through it pretty easily. I saw Sleepwalk with Me, which you also saw, so we'll come back to that. I saw The Story of Film and Odyssey, which is an undertaking. This is a 15-hour documentary on the history of film, and it's great. I mean, obviously, 15 hours, it gets into detail. I mean, like, it walks you through from the beginning. And if you're into film like we are, it's a must-see.
Yes, I can't wait for this.
If you're more of a casual moviegoer, you're not that into learning the history, it's probably going to be a bore, because it's very long, very drawn out. The narrator is pretty interesting, I guess. I think they could have maybe got a better narrator, but at the same time, it's very interesting. I learned a ton from this movie. There's just so much stuff I didn't know, especially about the early days of film. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there's like certain things that while I was watching it, I was like, oh, I hope they talk about this or that. And they cover everything. I mean, every genre, like they talk about like the beginnings of film noir and westerns and the silent era and what happened when the transition took place into talkies, and they talked about Hollywood and how Hollywood became kind of the mecca for film, and it was just very, very interesting. Definitely recommend it. This is on iTunes, so you can actually rent this on iTunes.
So did you watch all of it?
No, actually I didn't. I should have said that. I didn't watch the whole thing. I think I have one part to go. It's split up into 5 parts. It's 5 3-hour parts.
Gotcha.
And I think I'm on 4 or 5 right now. So I'm still getting through it, but it's great. The way that it's shot, it looks really good. So visually, it keeps it interesting. So yeah, I recommend it. And then finally,
I was looking to buy this actually.
Yeah, I think
they have a 5 DVD box set of it.
Yeah, I think that it is worth buying because it's almost like a reference manual for film.
Yeah.
You know, like if it's like if you're wondering how something got started or where they invented the close-up shot or, you know, something like that, you can refer back to this and see, because they really did their homework with this movie. I mean, they like pinpoint, I mean, they talk about the first celebrity, like the first movie star, pretty much every type of camera shot. They talk about the first movie that did that. It's very interesting. I mean, they do a lot. They kind of talk about a lot of directors like Hitchcock and Godard and big, huge, influential directors, and very good, very good.
Nice.
Nice. And then finally I saw Keep the Lights On, which is nominated for Best Feature at this year's Independent Spirit Awards. You know, it was good. I liked it, but maybe this isn't the case, but I feel like not only have I seen kind of this premise before, basically it's about these 2 guys that fall in love, and one of them turns out to have a drug problem, and it just goes through their entire relationship, which lasts 9 years, and the ups and downs of their relationship, and him relapsing and trying to get him back into rehab and all this stuff. And I feel like that's not an entirely new idea. And I honestly believe...
No, not at all. I just watched that last week called The Panic in Needle Park.
Yeah. I honestly believe, and I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like if it wasn't about a gay couple, that this wouldn't be getting as much buzz as it is.
Maybe.
I feel like even though we're in a very progressive time, I feel like we're still kind of looking at films that are about gay couples or homosexuality. We're looking at that as kind of like an avant-garde type thing. Much like back in the 60s, how a film that would feature an African-American lead would be a big deal. No. You know, like Night of the Living Dead, for example. The fact that the lead character was a black man, like that was huge. Like that was groundbreaking. And I feel like we're kind of still there with gay couples and that type of thing. Because really, it's a good movie, like I said, but I just don't see it being one of the best films of the year or best independent films of the year.
Yeah. Now, I did notice, because I didn't know what else this guy did, Ira Sachs, the director. And I saw that he directed a movie called Married Life, which I remember my wife watching, and she hated it and thought it was terrible, which was actually written by Owen Moverman, you know, the guy that did The Messenger and Rampart.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wrote the screenplay for that, and I just remember her just telling me that it was just awful.
Well, this movie's not awful, but
Okay.
I just didn't think it was anything groundbreaking or amazing.
Yeah. So again, it's something we've seen before
Yeah. Yeah.
numerous times.
And that's all I got.
Well, quick question about Keep the Lights On, because that Linhard, I guess, who plays the lead role, he's up for an award. How was he? How was his performance?
Performances were great. I mean, they were really good. I mean, that was the thing that kept this movie going. The focus was the performances and the relationship between the two characters. So that was stellar. I mean, both of them, Thor Lindhard and Zachary Booth, did a fantastic job. Zachary Booth, he was in that show Damages on FX. He played Glenn Close's son. And it was, performances were great. I'm a big fan of Julianne Nicholson, and she was good in it, although she didn't have a lot going on.
Okay. All right. Julianne Nicholson. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in Boardwalk Empire currently.
Law and Order.
Yeah.
I just know her from Law and Order. God, I've seen so many fucking Law and Orders. Too many.
I think we all have.
Way too many.
So that was my week. It was a pretty good week.
I had a very light week. Extremely light. And anytime that happens, that means that TV got involved. And I am hooked on American Horror Story right now.
Oh, finally.
Yeah. Goddamn. Damn.
You're on the first series?
Yeah. Oh, damn, that's good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I have a feeling that's going to take up most of my life for a little bit here.
Well, the second season's not even over yet. I'm eager to find out what happens because as grim and dark as this first season is, they outdo themselves with the second season, let me tell you.
Nice. Nice. So, yeah, I only saw 3 movies. 3. But there's some quality ones in here. I started off with I Wish, a Japanese movie by Koreeda, he did a bunch of movies. Still Walking, Nobody Knows, Distance, which my wife said Still Walking is amazing. And I own Distance. Do you remember watching that film?
Very vaguely.
Yeah, about the cult.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that. This is a very, very light movie. It's almost like a family film. I mean, it's essentially 2 brothers. They're young, like 10 or 12 years old, and they're separated because their mother and their father are separated. So each one is living with, the other parent. Mm-hmm. And they just want to get back together. So the boys find out that, there's the bullet train going in, and they hear this story that if you make a wish at the exact time that the bullet trains pass each other, then your wish will come true. So that becomes like their thing. So all the kids come up with all their dreams and whatever, and they get the money to get to where the bullet train so they can see it. And the one kid, of course, is his wish is to have his parents get back together so they can all live together. And it's a lot like the 2 kids that play the brothers apparently are actually stand-up comedians in real life. And they're, 10 and 12 years old. But they're a lot like the kids from Totoro. Where they just run around and they're always happy. Mm-hmm. And they yell hello at a ridiculous volume. They have too much energy almost. But overall, it was a good movie. Light, good-hearted film. I guess it's a recommend. I mean, there's not much going on. Not great performances or a great story or anything. It's good enough. Entertaining watch.
Okay.
So that's like a light recommend, I guess. And then Sleepwalk with Me, which you got to see as well.
Yeah. Yep.
I felt as though I was watching This American Life on what that used to be on Showtime.
I think it was, yeah, Showtime.
It was like I was watching that, but just like a little bit better production quality.
Well, to me, that's not a bad thing because I loved the TV show.
Same here. Same here. It was good. I enjoyed it. But the passive aggressiveness in this fucking movie is ridiculous, which I guess is Birbiglia's life. So, get your shit together, Birbiglia.
Well, he might have his shit together now. I don't know.
He probably does now.
I enjoyed this quite a bit, and not just because I know somebody that's in it, but I thought that it was genuinely funny. I don't know. I laughed. I laughed a lot.
I loved all of his sleepwalking.
Yeah.
There's a jackal in the room.
He thought the hamper was a jackal.
And I love this scene where he's in the car and he's listening to the Promise of Sleep tape.
Yeah,
and the doctor shows up beside him. He's like, can we move ahead to like sleep disorders?
I also thought it was interesting to kind of see his routine transform. Like, because at the beginning, he's not funny. He's not killing it.
Terrible.
And it's really awkward to see that. And then as the film progresses, he realizes, I should probably just be telling stories about my life because my life is so ridiculous and funny in sort of a awkward, tragic way. Then his comedy started getting better, and it started being a lot more funny.
Yeah, and I was hooked at the Who Dis.
Oh, yeah.
Near the beginning of the film. Just analyzing Who Dis. That had me just laughing my ass off.
Yeah, very funny film.
So,
I recommend it. It's a light film. I mean, it's there's not a lot to it, really.
No, I mean, you can just essentially close your eyes and it sounds like you're listening to NPR.
Yeah, pretty much.
It feels as though it's almost lifted from when he appeared on This American Life.
I like the kind of cuts where it was him addressing the audience in the car, though. Like I like that they did that. I enjoyed it too. That's what really made it feel like of This American Life.
I just thought it was so unbelievably sad at the end where they're, the point that they're trying to drive home at the end where she's like, I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
I was not a big fan of the ending, but whatever. And Mark Maron's in it, so.
Mark Maron is in it.
Wyatt Cenac. Good stuff.
Indeed, good stuff. Definitely recommend. Good film to watch. And then I watched The Color Wheel.
Now, it's interesting because I saw your Letterboxd review on here, and after I saw The Color Wheel, I thought to myself, well, I liked it, but I bet Kevin won't like it very much. And it looks like you liked it almost more than me.
Yeah, I fucking loved this movie. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, I agree.
And the number one thing that I want to say, I hate the term mumblecore. I don't know how many reviews and shit that I've read that said that this movie is mumblecore. And to me, it's not mumblecore at all.
I think it is.
Or even close. There's so much dialogue and so much talking.
I think it has a mumblecore feel to it. But I will say this. I found out that a lot of the movie feels improvised. Mm-hmm. However, from what I read, this was a heavily scripted movie, and everything was rehearsed to death. So in that aspect, it's not
kudos,
not like mumblecore very much.
Kudos then, because it does come off as being, it does has a really, it has that feel.
Yeah, it has.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it has the conversations feel very natural.
Yes, extremely natural.
And that's kind of what makes it feel improvised, especially because the good thing about doing improv in a film is that you get these little conversations that you might not write out in a script, but you would if you're improvising, you might talk about like little insignificant things, you know, like real everyday conversations.
Yes.
And that's how this movie comes off. So I don't know, maybe I'm gonna recant my mumblecore statement.
Recant it, because mumblecore is a lazy term for American independent. I'm getting sick and tired of people saying everything's mumblecore. Yeah. Mumblecore.
Yeah.
Just seems lazy to me. It's like mumblecore.
It's like...
Which I guess took over for indie, because indie was like that for the longest time.
Well, yeah.
It's indie. It's indie.
The term indie, indie became so convoluted, you didn't even know what it really meant.
No, exactly. You're like, what the fuck does indie mean?
It could mean anything.
But this movie is definitely indie. I mean, this is the one that's nominated for the Cassavetes Awards. I couldn't find, how much was...
I don't know how much they made it for.
The budget. I know his first movie he made for $15,000. The Implex movie, which I want to see.
It's a very low budget film, and the first thing you notice when you start watching it is the fact that it's shot on black and white 16 millimeter, which I immediately latched onto.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I was like, it had a Clerks feel to it. It felt like Clerks to me.
Yeah, it is a good comparison. Yeah, I extremely love this movie. A lot more than I thought it was. I thought I would just be like, yeah, that was a good flick. But I was into it the whole time.
Yes, I had very little interest in this movie because I saw the trailers and I was just like, eh. I mean...
Yeah, same here.
You gotta admit, when you see the trailers, it's like, oh, it's just gonna be another mumblecore movie. Like, that's what you think. And then when you see it, you're like, okay, there's more to it here. And the end, which I don't want to talk anything about it, but I didn't see it coming. I mean, well, no. I did it.
Maybe.
I did at a certain point. At a certain point of the film, I was like, is that gonna happen? But
I remember being really excited for this film back, because every year, Film Comment does their top movies of the year, and then they have another section that's the top unreleased movies of the year. And I remember this being on there, and I immediately checked it out. And I was like, God damn, I can't wait to see this. And this, I find it odd that his movies are influenced by books. So this is completely influenced by a Philip Roth novel called Portnoy's Complaint, which you can tell as soon as you look at the cover of that book, you can be like, yep, okay. Because they use the exact same font for everything in the movie.
I like the style of the movie. All the covers of the movie, all the posters. I like, all the credit scenes and stuff like that. I liked. Just a lot better than I thought it would be.
And there's so many people in this, directors wise, that small knit group, it seems like, that pop up in everyone's work, like Ry Russo Young, Bill Byington, and Caitlin Scheel. Mm-hmm. And I just have to ask one thing. The professor, that guy was the biggest dick I have ever seen.
But I'm glad he was, because then I got to hear more of what's his name, Alex Ross Perry, just try to insult, with the comebacks and stuff. I loved every conflict that this brother and sister got in with people, because it was so funny.
And just the entire party scene.
Oh God, I loved it.
Especially with the pineapple.
Yeah.
The pineapple alone was hilarious.
Yeah. Great movie. Highly recommend Color Wheel. It's available on iTunes, I believe, and Amazon. So check that out.
This is on my list of favorite movies of the year.
There we go. I
don't know if it'll make... I have a top 15 right now. It's my short list. I got to, break it down to 10.
Well, what we're going to do for that, I decided we're going to do a top 10, and then we're going to have 5 honorable mentions.
That's what I figured.
Because right now mine's at like 15 too. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. Talk about some Amazon Blu Ray deals. It's Christmas time, so we got a lot of Christmas deals for you here. If you want to get some of these incredible deals, just go to our site at filmpulse.net, click on the Amazon banner, shop as you would normally, or simply click on the provided links in the show notes. First up, we have A Christmas Story Blu-ray, $9.49. This is a holiday theme. Then we have Home Alone Collection, $13.99. That's Home Alone 1 and 2. Love Actually, $7.99. A lot of people might poo-poo that movie, but I actually like that movie. I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Little sentimental. A little bit sentimental. And then we have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which I watched last night. Still love it. Still makes me laugh hysterically. $8. And finally we have Elf, which is a new Christmas classic. Also $8 on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of people like really love Elf.
Every few years, I mean, like, there's one Christmas movie that comes out, and for whatever reason, it sticks, and then it's like it gets put into the rotation, you know?
Yes,
exactly. You got like Christmas Vacation, Christmas Story, and then Elf gets thrown in there. It's a Wonderful Life. I find that interesting, but somehow Elf to me is like A Christmas Story or Christmas Vacation, where I can watch it every year and it never gets old.
No,
it
doesn't.
You watch it once a year. It really kind of encapsulates the season. It's great. I don't understand. I was thinking about it last night when I was watching Christmas Vacation, because I was like, what makes this movie so rewatchable? Like, where I can just watch it over and over and I love it. And I think that it's because the movie is kind of broken up into like little vignettes almost. Well, there's not like one big overarching plot. It's just them. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just them doing the holiday thing.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, that's kind of how Christmas Story is too, where it's just, you know, there's the one thing. There's either him wanting the BB gun, or, you know, Clark wanting to get his Christmas bonus and get his pool put in. But it's kind of separated by these little things. And that's why I like those movies so much.
I'm in the mood right now to watch Elf.
It's great.
Because I actually just got done. I made a shit ton of cookies.
Nice.
Today and yesterday. I've been baking cookies forever.
Very nice.
I'm worried that I'm never going to stop.
You just keep doing it.
I think I'm like stuck in a K-hole baking cookies.
Oh, that's great. All right, let's talk about the Golden Globe Awards. This week, the nominations for this year's Golden Globes came out. Really, not a lot of surprises to speak of.
A couple. But I do have to say, you know how much we don't care about the Oscars?
I care even less about the Golden Globes. I don't even watch the Golden Globes. Like, I don't even...
No.
At this point, the only reason that people even talk about the Golden Globes is because it's always used...
It's the precursor.
Yeah, it's a predictor. It's a predictor for the Oscars. And I hope that with the Oscars this year, they include some ones that haven't been in the Golden Globes, like Beasts of the Southern Wild, for instance.
Yeah.
Like, where's that at?
I don't know. Bullshit.
Where's Moonrise?
Bullshit.
I don't get that. So I guess we can just talk about some of the highlights here. Let's just do director first. We got Ben Affleck for Argo, Catherine Bigelow for Zero Dark 30, Ang Lee for Life of Pi, Spielberg for Lincoln, and Tarantino for Django. I think
I'm okay with those.
I'm okay.
Except Spielberg.
I'm okay with all of those. I must admit I haven't seen Lincoln yet, and Django and Zero Dark 30 aren't out yet. So really, I've only seen Life of Pi and Argo.
Yeah, really. I really don't want to see Lincoln.
I don't either, but I know
Just don't
it's
do
going to
it.
happen. So I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and do it.
Suck it up and watch.
I'm kind of hoping I get a screener before the Oscars, so I don't have to go to the theater and see it.
That's what I'm hoping for. I just hope that I don't have to pay money to see this.
Yeah.
I guess I should clarify. I don't want to pay money to see Lincoln.
Yeah.
I guess I'll see it for free. If you want to pay me to see it, that'd be even better.
Now, who do you think's going to win that?
Catherine Bigelow.
You think so?
Yeah. Or Spielberg. Maybe Spielberg.
I know Ang Lee's not going to win.
No.
I doubt Affleck will win. Tarantino won't win. Although maybe, I don't know, maybe it's his year. I would love to see Tarantino win.
I don't know. When you have a movie about Lincoln and a movie about killing Osama bin Laden,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can overcome those two.
No, I agree. So we have best musical or comedy.
Oh, my favorite. I love how they group these together for some weird reason.
They used to do this in the... Did they still do that in the Oscars too?
No.
They separated them?
Yeah, but why the fuck are musicals and comedies together?
I never understood that. It's stupid. So
Like, how the hell is any comedy going to be able to beat Les Miserables?
yeah, exactly. So we have Les Mis, Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, Moonrise Kingdom, Salmon Fishing in the Yemen, and Silver Linings Playbook.
To me, salmon fishing in the Yemen is the biggest what the fuck on this entire list of nominees.
Might have been reaching for that one.
I don't remember anyone talking about this damn movie at all, ever.
Critics liked it. I know that. I know it got fairly good reviews, but I'm gonna predict Les Mis on that one. Seems like a no-brainer.
Obviously we haven't seen it because it's not out yet, but based on that should be best picture just overall.
Right.
It looks better than Life of Pi, and you and I both know that we hate musicals. Hate them. This movie actually looks pretty fucking awesome.
I gotta say, I'm very excited to see this movie.
I am excited as well.
Never in my life would I imagine that I'm saying, man, I am really excited to see Les Miserables.
I know. When it was first announced that Hooper was doing this, my wife is a huge Les Mis fan. So right off the bat, she's like, oh my God, I can't wait to see it. And I'm like, shit, I gotta see Les Mis. But all right, it's Hooper. Maybe it'll be okay. After seeing a couple of trailers, like now I'm to the point where I'm like, yes, I can't wait to see Les Mis. This could be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's interesting that can happen.
Very interesting, because there's the voice in the back of my head's like, do you hear yourself? What the fuck is going on here?
What is this? What a strange turn of events. So yeah, I think Les Mis is definitely going to take that hands down. Normally I don't really care about talking about actors and actresses, but let's go ahead and go over the best actors. We got Daniel Day, Lewis for Lincoln, Richard Gere for Arbitrage, John Hawkes for The Sessions, Joaquin Phoenix for The Master, and Denzel Washington for Flight. That's a big group right there.
That's a solid group.
Those are some powerhouse performances.
I have to say, the more I keep reading about Flight, I wish that I didn't miss it when it first came around.
It's still playing out here, but I have no interest.
From what I've been reading, it's supposed to be extremely, extremely good. And Denzel Washington's supposed to give like his greatest performance.
I heard it's pretty over the top with the alcoholism thing.
Gotcha.
After school special.
Nice.
But I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say. This category I think is interesting because normally I'd say John Hawkes for The Sessions because he plays what does he have in that movie? What's the disease that he has?
Polio, I think.
Polio?
Is it polio?
It's something that leaves him unable to move. He's bedridden. I don't know if he's paralyzed.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think he's on an iron lung, I think.
Really?
I think. I don't know. That's what it says here.
Oh, okay.
It says something about that. I don't know how correct that is.
Either way, I would normally say John Hawkes, but at the same time, when you're going up against Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's playing Lincoln, I don't know.
Exactly. That's just unfortunate.
And plus, Daniel Day-Lewis, he's kind of the darling of the Oscars. Everybody loves him. The interesting thing about him is that he's really picky about his roles. Like, you don't see him in a movie every year, like most actors. Like, he kind of bides his time and picks what he thinks is right.
Yeah.
But, so I don't know. I would say it's going to either be Daniel Day or John Hawkes.
Yeah, I would agree.
Best Actress, we have Jessica Chastain for Zero Dark 30, Marion Cotillard for Rust and Bone, Helen Mirren for Hitchcock, Naomi Watts for The Impossible, and Rachel Weisz for Deep Blue Sea. Since I haven't seen a lot of these, in fact, I've only seen Rust and Bone, I could
we'll go with Cotillard. I'm feeling it's going to be Chastain.
I don't know, though.
I think it'll be Chastain.
I heard that Rachel Weisz... I watched the first maybe 10 minutes of Deep Blue Sea before getting bored and turning it off. So... I heard she does a really good job. I'm not a big fan of hers, so... I don't know. That's more of a toss-up, I think.
Good to anyway.
Yeah. I think that could go either way. So they have Best Actor, Musical, or Comedy. I didn't even realize they had that category.
Again, good luck to everyone that's not in Les Mis.
Yeah, like Bill Murray got nominated.
Because how do you compare a comedic performance versus a performance in Les Mis? They shouldn't be in the same arena.
No, I agree. I think that they should change these categories for the time that we live in. I mean, because I understand that you can't have a musical category, right? Because
you're probably not going to get 5 a year.
Yeah, most years you don't get that many, especially ones that are worthy of awards. So they're like, okay, well, we'll just group it in with comedy because usually there's only a few award-worthy comedies that come out.
Yeah.
However, I would argue that the comedies that are nominated, like Salmon Fishing in the Yemen and Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, I don't even know if they would qualify as comedies, to me, at least.
Well, I heard Salmon Fishing in the Yemen is a fucking laugh riot.
It sounds like it.
Sounds like the funniest movie of the year.
I think Judd Apatow produced that, so...
It makes sense. I think the biggest snub is Don't Go Into the Woods, though.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
How does that not get nominated?
I don't understand why Resident Evil 5 is not on here. Or
bizarre.
Whatever. 5 or 6?
9?
Is it? I don't
4?
know. I don't know.
15.
Let's just go ahead
throw
and...
numbers out there.
I
hope Jack Black gets it. I just want to say that.
For Bernie?
Yeah, I think he deserves it.
Yeah. I think it'd be nice. Nice to see that. Won't happen.
Maybe.
I don't know. And we have Best Picture. Let's just end it off here. Best Picture, Argo, Django, Life of Pi, Lincoln, and Zero Dark 30. It actually mimics the Best Directors this year. Same ones.
Indeed.
I mean, as much as I don't want Lincoln to get it, I don't know.
Yeah, I find it hard for anything to overcome Lincoln. I mean, it's about Lincoln. It's about abolishing slavery.
Yeah. Either that or Zero Dark 30.
Yeah.
I'm going to say either one of those. However, I would love to see Django win for that, even though I haven't seen it yet.
It would be nice.
I'm just such a diehard. Because remember when Inglourious Basterds came out, that got nominated for a bunch of stuff too, but I don't think it even won for anything. I think maybe Christoph Waltz won.
Yes, he did.
For I think it was supporting actor.
Yes.
But nothing else. And it's like, come on, that is such a brilliant film. But
bullshit. I mean, what do you go with? Do you go with Abraham Lincoln or a kid in a boat with a fucking tiger?
Well, I guarantee you Life of Pi won't win anything.
It better not.
I mean, anything as far as Golden Globes. Now, Oscars, that's going to be a different story because I think that there's a lot of, visual effects awards and things that Life of Pi could easily win.
Is there a award for best use of meerkats?
Yes.
Because I think it should win that. Hands down.
Sleeping meerkats. Most adorable animals in a film.
Meerkats.
The meerkats from Life of Pi. There you have it. I don't even know when this is going to be on TV. Do you know? Do you have the date?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Just jump on the internet after it's done and just read it.
Yeah,
save yourself the time of ridiculous acceptance speeches.
Well, we also have the SAG Awards that got announced this week, which I don't even think we're going to go over because those are even less important to me.
Yeah.
So
there's not many that are important at all.
No. All right, let's go over our predictions. Last week, the big one, The Hobbit, you said 84, I said 86. Actual score on Rotten Tomatoes, currently it's at 65. So, bit of a mixed bag on The Hobbit.
Really?
Yeah. We gave it an 8 out of 10 on the site. Daniel seemed to enjoy it quite a bit. As we said before, neither of us saw it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I will see it.
I don't either.
Next week, we have Zero Dark 30. Big one.
Oh, yeah.
What are you thinking on this?
I'm thinking like a 88.
88? Okay, I'm gonna say 90 on that one.
Ooh.
Then we also have Amor, the Haneke film that we talked about last week, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say 93 on that one.
I'm going to go 92.
Okay. And then finally we have The Guilt Trip. This is the new film with Seth Rogen and Barbara Streisand. It is Barbara Streisand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure, because I actually haven't seen a whole lot about this.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. And by awesome, I mean terrible.
Yes, sounds terrible. All the trailers make it look pretty below average. So what are you thinking on The Guilt Trip?
I'm thinking like a 52.
52. I'm going to say 50 on The Guilt Trip. So just don't think... And, I mean, if we were talking numbers, like box office numbers, I bet... Well, I don't know. I was going to say I bet Zero Dark 30 is going to crush it, but...
You never know. You never know.
You really never know. Especially, I don't know what Guilt Trip's rated. If it's PG-13, I don't know. Could have a chance. Let's talk about some DVD and Blu Ray releases. This is for Tuesday, December 18th, 2012. We've got a big week.
Big week. A
lot of releases for the holidays. We have 10 Years, which is the movie we talked about a couple weeks back with a huge cast, huge ensemble cast. I don't recommend that. You could probably skip that. If you're like me and this happens to coincide on your 10-year reunion, maybe it's worth checking out just because for nostalgia's sake. But just don't expect it to be funny or good. Speaking of not good, we have The Good Doctor. This is that terrible Orlando Bloom movie that we talked about a long time ago. Finally getting its release on Blu-ray. Liberal Arts, the new what's his name? Is it Josh Radnor? The guy from How I Met Your Mother. This is his new film. Not a big fan of his first film, so not terribly interested in this one either, although I do like Elizabeth Olsen, so might be worth taking a look. I don't know.
Maybe.
Pitch Perfect?
I don't think I will.
No.
Pitch Perfect's right up my alley.
Pitch Perfect. Perfect movie for Kevin. I'm going to say skip that. Didn't look very good.
Skip it.
Sleepwalk with Me, we already talked about. I recommend checking that one out. Total Recall, this is the Colin Farrell remake. Not good. Don't bother. Trouble with the Curve, this is the Clint Eastwood, Justin Timberlake, Amy Adams film.
Baseball movie. Yeah, this
doesn't look that good to me.
Yeah.
I feel like that had a really quick turnaround.
Yeah.
From theaters to Blu-ray. We have Arbitrage, Richard Gere. Highly recommend this one. Very good.
Yeah, I need to see this.
Very, very good.
Needs to happen.
Surprisingly good. Surprisingly. Killer Joe, Matthew McConaughey, Gina Gershon, Emile Hirsch. Crazy movie. Highly recommend it if you're an adult. If you're a child, don't see it. It'll probably ruin you forever. Killer Joe, it's still teetering on my top 10.
Still there?
Yep. It's somewhere. It's definitely in the top 15.
Gotcha. It's not on my top 15. Didn't make it.
I liked it a lot. Premium Rush, this is the Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Michael Shannon bike messenger film.
How often do you get to see that?
It was enjoyable. I would recommend renting it. It's just fun. There's not a lot to it. It's just kind of your average action movie. It's not bad, but it's not amazing.
Yeah.
So, check that out for performances alone, I would say. And there is a lot of really cool bike stuff that happens in it. And it's not like too over the top and ridiculous. They do some cool stuff. Red Hook Summer, this is the new latest Spike Lee film. I was a little lukewarm on this one. I felt like it was closer to a return to form for him, but at the same time, it wasn't quite on the level as some of his earlier work. But I think if he keeps on this track, he'll be getting there.
Yeah, I want to check this out.
Visually, I loved it. I thought that it looked great. I thought that it really just kind of captured the whole summertime in New York, where just everything is just kind of steamy and hot, and it was very visually pleasing. The plot is all over the place, though. So, and then finally, Resident Evil Retribution. Enough said.
Yep.
Anything on your list coming out? That was a huge list.
That was a lot of movies. I have nothing.
Oh, there you go.
So, there you go.
I'd also like to recommend, it came out last week, Miami Connection on Blu-ray. I got it in the mail, and it's got some great special features on it.
Yes.
So, check that out. Draft House Films, Miami Connection on Blu-ray. I think that does it. That's a show.
There you go.
For all the latest film news and reviews, visit us at filmpulse.net. If you want to hear your feedback, send us an email, feedback@filmpulse.net, or call our voicemail line 850-391-6071. Also, please take a minute to rate us on iTunes. We appreciate that greatly. For filmpulse.net, my name is Adam.
And I'm Kevin.
And we will see you on Wednesday for Ryan Watches a Movie, when we have him watch Django.
That's your sister, Jane? She's working here? My father! My father! I found my father! Oh my God!